Alright, Dr. Wily has to be here somewhere. I guess we're going to climb through space if the map's any indication. So, we are nearing the end of Wily's fortress. That's good, right? Well, we do have the usual thing we have to get through. Not these junk-throwing robots, these guys are new. Though, they are completely new. They didn't even show up in any other stages. So, yeah, completely new resource. That's actually pretty nice. And they can actually be kinda tricky to deal with, admittedly. Some of them are just in really good positions. And they try to trick you with their spawn, but honestly, like, eventually you just kinda get where they're going to appear. And also, that was a bit of a close timing there. Oh, and also, yeah, dick move right there. They have a second one in the room, but anyway, yeah, I managed to get him so he threw the block, like, right in the hole so that the debris basically blew up on the walls. He can actually throw it up on the ceiling, and then the debris will still fall on you. That's a thing that happened to me before. Alright, so it's boss refight time. We're going to be working our way clockwise around here, starting with Needleman, who is kind of a pain to fight. Though, to be fair, not terrible with a Gemini laser just because he's almost always going to be up in the air, so you can kinda use that against him. Plus, just like with, I believe it was Quickman we used this against? Whoever it was, it does allow you to dodge around a bit more, since if you miss with a laser, you kinda just have to dodge around anyway. Alright, so, next off we have Magnet Man, and I believe I actually got a really good pattern for him. Well, I say good, but he kinda kept doing this repeatedly, which is easy to deal with, maybe not the most fun, but easy. Next off we have Gemini Man. Did I bother doing this legit? I think the good thing is you might be able to hit either one to do damage. Yeah, but... So, yeah, Search Snake does enough damage where I actually thought, I'll do this legit. Of course, part of it was also he didn't really shoot all that often. Like, he clearly stopped whenever I shot, but he didn't react shoot for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll take it. Magnet Missile is really nice against Hardman because it allows you to hit him from the side of the room without too much issue. Other than that, though, yeah, pretty much the same fight, just now we have his weakness, so thankfully this goes a lot quicker. Even then, he's probably still one of the slower refights. But we're done with him. Next off, we have Top Man, who is as easy as ever. Of course, Hard Knuckle is going to make him even easier. I think his little invincible spin actually changes its timing. Like, I can swear the first one was like, he starts spinning almost immediately, but then after that one he takes a few seconds, and so on and so forth. Could just be me. Doesn't really make it any more difficult, though. Shadow Man's tough, of course, because top spin is a pain to use, and I mean that literally, because you'll actually be in pain when you come into contact with the enemy and get contact damage. Oh, contact damage, you're the other reason I don't really like the boss design in this game. Okay, so Sparkman's actually probably the trickiest robot master to fight, even with his weakness. I say that because he can still get in a bad position, though. That being said, of course, Shadow Blade will make quick work of him, as it does basically everything ever in this game. And lastly we have Snake Man. He is weak to Gatling needles, which I guess most snakes would be. I mean, I've never tried shooting a snake with many needles, never thrown a cactus at a snake, but I don't know, I have a feeling it would go over very well for the snake. Or for me, who would probably barehand a cactus throwing at it a snake. I don't know why I would be confronting a snake or why this situation would even exist, but theoretically speaking, I'd fuck it up somehow. Anyway, we get some energy refill before we actually get to the end. I'd suggest a bit of Hard Knuckle. And we go to the boss. Don't worry though, we still have plenty of chances to get energy. Well, I say plenty. Technically, a minimum of 2. If you get lucky, it'll be more than 2. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Oh, nope, I was wrong. Alright, we might as well go Magnet Missile. I don't think anything is weak to it at this point, but, you know, it's fairly low, I'll go with it. You might have also noticed I charged some Rush Jet. Alright, it's time for Wily Machine. So, Phase 1 is actually weak to Hard Knuckle, Search Snake, and Spark Shot. He only takes 4 damage from Search Snake, though, and 7 damage from the other 2. As for the second phase, he is weak to Hard Knuckle still, that's 7 damage, and Search Snake, but personally I prefer taking him on with Rush Jet because you can do this. And sorry I didn't talk for most of that, I had to take a drink, but yeah, it's fairly obvious what you're supposed to do. Shoot the bottom, then shoot the top, or shoot the Wily, however you prefer to phrase that. Oh my goodness, a fake Wily! Ah, darn it. That must have been Dr. Wily. Alright, well, if that Wily was a fake, that means Dr. Wily must be here somewhere. Alright, so, let's recharge Top Spin for reasons. I believe I already recharged Hard Knuckle, and because I didn't bother to use it for the previous section, it should still be good. Got an E-Tank, pretty nice, and an extra life, also nice. I'm not going to need either, but still. Alright, we're going to start the battle with Rush Coil, actually, because we're going to be fighting Gamma, who should look vaguely familiar. Don't know how this thing was supposed to keep peace, though. I don't know, I feel like Dr. Light probably should have seen this one coming. I mean, we have this weird turret thingamajig with the bottom half of Gutsman's jaw. Really can't do anything other than shoot. Don't know how this is supposed to keep peace. And now Wily comes down, and his weakness is Top Spin. And of course, because it's Top Spin, we take a hit before actually finishing the boss in 1 hit. Mega Man won't even look at Wily, he refuses. Oh, and he's dead. Oh, as are we. Where's Dr. Wily? Oh no, too late. You didn't even try! He wasn't crushed that soon beforehand. Oh well, I suppose it's fine. If Dr. Wily's dead, so be it. Well, I mean, it was Breakman, but why? For what reason did he have to save Mega Man? I mean, he fought us up to this point. And so, we end off not on a list of this game's Robot Masters, but the Robot Masters created by Dr. Light. Including his #1 son, Proto Man, new robot prototype, brother of Mega Man. And for some reason we see him in the distance, even though he's quite alive. Also, they repurposed Wily's fucking capsule as like a bird or a bug or some shit on that tree back there, and it's really fucking me up. So, that's Mega Man 3. A very solid game overall, good level design, and great weapons. Probably one of my favorite in terms of boss weapons. Of course, I'm not the biggest fan of the boss design overall, though, to be fair, you know, while I'm not the biggest fan of the initial bosses, then you fight the Mega Man 2 bosses, but worse, so kind of puts things in perspective, you know? You hate the first set of bosses, and then it's like, oh, could be worse. Could be fighting more of these guys. They've definitely improved since Mega Man 2. which, everyone's favorite is Mega Man 2, and while I like that game, I do feel like they actually did make some major improvements to that game with this one, especially with the slide, honestly. Mega Man's slide is just such a helpful maneuver. Having two ways to dodge really helps. It makes the platforming more interesting, it makes the bosses more interesting, it's just a really good but still simple move to use. And while I'm really not fond of this game for starting the whole 2 sets of final levels thing, and while I don't like the Doc Robot stages that much, honestly, overall they don't feel like that much of a slog. The series has had a worse 2 sets of levels. This one is just, I don't like retreading old ground, and the Wily Castle's okay. Not one of my favorites, but it's still pretty solid. So these credits are short, so I don't have that much more time to talk about stuff, so miscellaneous ads. I suppose it's got a pretty solid soundtrack, though there is definitely one song that stands above the rest. I do adore Hardman's theme. Other than that, still pretty good. Not my favorite, I think. Good aesthetics, and I think that might be more or less it. I think I covered everything else, so I guess that's it for Mega Man 3 then. I've been Fechner. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you join me next time for whatever I do next.
Looks like a homing shot!
That looks like a homing shot! That looks like a homing shot!
It looks like a homing shot! That's a homing shot.